Happening, everyone. Happy Friday to you if you're out here watching, whether you're taking a run and whether you're sitting at home, whether you're at the mall or driving or otherwise. Keep your eyes on the road if you are doing any of those things that require it. However, PulseChain.com feels good. Feels good. Just want to do a quick stream, go over a few things before the weekend starts. Don't know how much I'm going to stream this weekend, but I wanted to, the stream with Access last night, got a couple of things going on in my mind. I'll post them in the chat. And I thought it was in between clipping a massive amount of content, had a little bit of time to look at a couple of things here, put it up on the screen. Let's go to, so if you haven't seen DeFi Llama, this is pretty cool where they list the different PulseChain protocol rankings. And you can even look at the TVL. So, how much money is in the system is, locked on the platform. Locked is kind of a funny word for it, but how much, how much money, how much capital has been is on the platform that people put up for liquidity or otherwise, whatever's going on. So PulseX, it's just showing, and these numbers, they may vary, they may go up and down, and there's different measurements and stuff too. But generally, 120 million PulseX. PHUX number 2 with around 27 million. So if you actually go to phux.io, wonder how much these numbers match up to what it shows here. Let's see. Take a minute for it to load. But this is a really cool way to check and see which, where the places everyone's like, oh, what are the most popular projects? What are people actually using? What are people building that's been successful or gaining traction and all that stuff too. And this is a place where you can see, a lot of these I don't know much about. A lot of them appear to be dexes or farms of some sort, which, of course, makes sense where a lot of people would lock liquidity if they're farming tokens or just earning fees with just a traditional dex style. However, it's very cool to see the amount of money that's being locked and just the clear, PHUX head and shoulders above even the rest. And we got a few other that have 5 million Spark Swap, Daytona, and the rest of them just goes down from there. Seeing these numbers is very interesting because it makes me think of how bullish it is to see the snapshot and point in time where we are right now, where nobody wants to put money into crypto. Everyone's just, no dry powder or mad about the SAC or whatever. And we still see all these millions of dollars. And I can't help but in my head to 10x a lot of these numbers just to make them seem more real because they seem so low right now, especially on new protocol, which makes sense in the condition we're in. I think that's really the mindset that's really helpful for me is I've trained myself over the years, especially when something new launches or otherwise that I believe in, have confidence in. See a community around supporting, unshakably in that way, is seeing lower numbers actually makes me bullish when I see the market conditions as they are. So anyways, that was I think that's a cool site. I don't see a lot of people quoting this, so I think it's a great place to actually see which products are coming up through the ranks. You can click on each one. For example, you click on PulseX, and you can see over time, had a ton here. That's, of course, when the coins are worth more, the value tends to go up and down as well. That's why the APR up and down on the farms is on there too. But what happened there? 200, whatever, that's real. Did today it go nuts for some reason? I'm going to go with these numbers for now. But anyways, you can look at PulseX, you can look at, PHUX and stuff and see over time just the numbers too, which is pretty cool. So that goes up. And then you can see that, that looks like the SEC deal right there, where a lot of people are like, nope, not interested. Not right now. This is my time to exit. And we just keep going on. So pretty cool site. Again, be careful. I don't know much about a lot of these projects. I don't tend to pay attention to a lot of them outside of a handful pretty much that are on my radar because I think they help PulseChain. Nothing against any of the projects. Of course, on PulseChain, there's going to be rug pulls. There's going to be magic carpet rides that aren't helping the blue chips and stuff too. But I like the ones that help the blue chips. I like the ones that Help Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX, and throw Ink in there too. Ink's a very interesting one for the board. If you didn't catch our stream last night with Axis Live, it was an excellent one. So highly suggest that if you're curious about some of the PulseChain stuff going on, TA and liquidity. We talked a little bit about that too. So DeFi Llama, great place for that. If you want to look at the bridge stuff, so again, this is like what I'm watching, what I'm looking at too, when I want to get some stats from time to time. I'm looking at the protocol stuff locked. We can look at liquidity and stuff too, but on the bridge, we still got a ton stable coins that go back and forth. You can see on Twitter some of the bigger ones if you follow some of those accounts that are posting like the big changes going, bridging from Ethereum to PulseChain, bridging from PulseChain to Ethereum. However, just a ton of stable coins, which is I think a good sign in a lot of ways. A ton of assets that aren't super volatile or are downright stable. Wrapped ETH, Wrapped BTC. A lot of this is good. Like if I'm looking at a new network that launched, and I see, that $50-60 million in stables, $11 million in Wrapped ETH, and we like Hex, but Hex can go up and down as it's shown too. But for other people looking at from the outside in, if they see a ton of Wrapped BTC, a ton of Wrapped ETH, and a ton of stable coins, that's going to get them more interested when they don't know anything about Hex or PulseChain or otherwise. So that's pretty cool. Even some LUSD here too. Link Hedron, of course. So bridge, I'll drop this in the chat as well. I'll go for about 20 minutes today. So this is another Ninja stream. Let me know if you have any questions. Get them in sooner rather than later, so I can have a chance to answer them if I can. So that's another thing, bridged wallet assets. I also like looking at t-shirts. Shout out to Giffordware. Giff has a site. One day he'll be back on the show. One day. tsharedata.com. This is something I really like looking at lately. I've been going to when I want to look at certain stats. There's a ton of stat sites all over the place. So Hexfire and everything else as well. Look into Hex, great one. But I've just really liked the way that T-Share data kind of simplifies a lot of this stuff. And I like some of the stats I can see, for example, with Hex. Genesis chart, we were looking at something the other day. Yeah, T-Share rate, of course, going up and down. Total T-Share chart. Current staker count. Yeah, this is a great place to see, current stakers, how it's kind of, we're going sideways in current stakers on Ethereum. I think it's on Ethereum too for now. So yeah, kind of oscillating around 120K, which again, oh man, catch the Ben Sierra stream too. He has a lot of good data on that, and the stakers kind of broken down in different areas, broken down in the people, like if they're big stakers or small stakers, how long they're staking. That was a great stream too. So catch that. I got some clips coming out on, but the RHMax Ben Sierra stream is a great one. He does a lot of great Hex analytics, and they're going to have him back on the show soon too. So yeah, staking data, getting numbers from that here is pretty good too. Average stake length is another good one to look at. Still around 7 years. Amazing. People are locking up coins. People or machines locking up coins. 7 years on average. That keeps the community together. It really does. You have aligned incentives for it. I have Mandip, market cap, PulseChain, PLS, please. That is an easy one, sir. We can certainly get to that. A little bit of nuance as well. Go to gopulse.com when I want to see market caps most of the time. It's a fun, easy, beautiful site that has a lot of features that I'll click around on in a second too. But the thing is, if you want to get a true market cap, or truer in my opinion at least, you can do exclude OA, because right now, PulseX 1.68 billion, Pulse 6.1. Really, is it that big right now? Sounds like a lot. And then Hex 5.4 billion. If you do exclude OA, which takes out the OA coins, you get a much more accurate one. 244 mil, 670 mil for Pulse, and 700, just under a billion. Man, it's crazy to see Hex under a billion market cap. Very interesting. So that's something where, again, OA, you can read about the OA, all this stuff, has a large portion of supply, never sold, Saker's best friend, all that good stuff. So this is a way to actually evaluate. If you care about market cap and that's your thing and you're trying to compare a bunch of different coins about it, you can exclude the OA to actually get what is circulating or being staked or otherwise may be available on the market. Otherwise, OA hasn't touched the coins for 3 going on 4 years. I'm not sure they'll ever be touched. Who knows? So that's a way to exclude them and get a more accurate market cap if I was doing it at least. So what's up, Bright Light? Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Again, if you have more questions, get them in. Again, Go Pulse is a great place. You can also look at bridge stats here. I'll paste this in the chat. Please limit shilling in the chat as well. I don't mind if you talk about certain things, but I'm not here to go check out other coins or go shill coins for you. So please ask questions if you're interested in that. But yeah, yes, if you actually know, if you've been watching me for a while, you know what I try to focus my attention on, and it's usually the blue chips or a handful of projects from there. So if I don't answer your questions, nothing personal on that. It's just trying to cover things I'm most interested in. I think that's fair. Appreciate the compliment though in there as well. Feline Crypto. What's up, PM Squared? It's been a while, man. I've seen you for a while. Good to see you. Or I haven't seen you in the chat at least. 82 million. Yeah, on the bridge. That's what we looked at here too. It's got around 83 here. 82 mil according to calculations at Pulse. Go Pulse. Again, you see the stable coins. You see the ETH. You see the Wrap BTC and the Hex as well. Very cool. And then so bridged in and bridged out 2 million. Is this based on daily or total? I'm not sure what the bridged out value is based on too. Okay. Anyways, Pulse. Oh, actually, interesting. That is what's wrapped on Ethereum? It'd be funny to see what protocols and stuff that people are using for wrapped PLS, wrapped PulseChain Hex, and wrapped PulseX. Very interesting to see. I mean, yeah, I'm sure people maybe they're experimenting or using it for one reason or another. We see obviously a lot more wrapped Pulse than otherwise, but that is interesting to see people doing that. Usually it's the other way around. You want to where to get eHex, you go to PulseChain. There's a lot of eHex bridged over, as you can see, 2 billion. I like that B word. Billion's fun. Oh, what else do we got? So let's go check out our friend Somi's Twitter for a moment. God, I love those ads on Twitter, don't you? Wow. He's got some memes too. We talked about the Mt. Gox being delayed for another year. Who knows if it keeps happening over and over and over. I guess he's been talking about BitBoy for a while as well. Yeah, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I'm going to wrap up here in a minute. I just want to go through a little bit of the socials here. Crypto funds do my about emotion. Nothing PulseChain. Oh, we did get some gates. We became the gatekeepers in a way. That's like one way to think about it too. Like when PulseChain launched, we became the gatekeepers. So except on the Ethereum side, obviously we don't have a lot of control over that because most of our products are built on PulseChain. But on the PulseChain side, boy, we got a little bit of vertical integration going on, a little bit of control over our own destiny, I would say, more than anything else. Have you been researching, brother? Yeah, no, that is one way to get smarter is to spend some time doing it. So that's awesome, man. Let's see, it's launched. Yeah, I mean, we used to have, before PulseChain launched, used to have a lot of comparisons between the other L1s. I had those pictures floating around. I have to find the links. I've actually been trying to gather my top links because it's really fun to show them on stream. I can use them when I'm doing research or just doing stats and stuff myself, but having them handy in a doc too to show when I'm streaming is useful as well. Yeah, our friend told me I do watch his videos more, probably, I'm gonna just say just about every day, honestly, just to get a lot of nuance around a lot of stuff going on in crypto. And of course, he's a big streamer, big advocate of Hex and PulseChain. So I want to be friendly to those people, even the protocols. Again, looking at the protocols here, a lot of these products I don't know of, or I may never know of, I may never engage with in any way, shape, or form. However, I think it's worth being friendly. Again, it's assuming a lot of them have good intentions and are doing the right things and audits and stuff like that. I think, at least you don't have to support them directly or engage with them. But for me, it's like, I'm glad they're trying to bring money into the ecosystem. I'll say that. So it's one of those things where it's really hard. It's really hard. You don't want people to get into bad products, or generally speaking, like I'll say, I don't want people to get into bad products. However, I see the benefit in more products being on PulseChain, even from people who I don't know and aren't in my circle of people who, I've had on the show 10 times, stuff like that. So I see the benefit in the money coming in from them and them building on PulseChain. And I know not all of it will be great, but I know that a lot of it, or some of it, will be. And I don't know. There's a lot of emotions in this too. I really try to take it just a more objective approach. I don't really care for people saying like gatekeeping, or, it's kind of like, I guess when you have a token or you have a product or a website or whatever it is, and there's money involved in it, you kind of want everyone to talk about it, and you may even want to try to push them to do that too. But yeah, I think being accurate with a gatekeeping term is a better thing to do. I think there's a difference between gatekeeping and just not being interested. And everyone's a self-sovereign individual, so they can kind of choose for that, have their own platform. And that's the thing. I remember Richard saying a lot too, is like, people shilling stuff. And this had nothing to do with anyone in the chat today, just in general. People used to shill altcoins and other stuff in Richard's chat, and he would just be like, go get your own platform. Like, go get free speech doesn't mean you get to do it on my platform. Go get your own platform and go talk about it all you want. Go build your base and, all that stuff. No vampiring. It just made me think of that. So anyways, that's the way I think about projects I don't know anything about. I'm very careful. I don't like to have people on the show that I don't know anything about, and I haven't seen kind of social consensus around them being good for the ecosystem or representable, or I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, like not a scam. So yeah, I may miss out on a lot of good projects and a lot of good founders, and yeah, that sucks too. But I think that I always try to be honest with everyone, and I definitely want the show to have integrity. And I don't want, even when I'm doing the clips, I'm thinking like, I don't do clickbait, or I try my best not to. Sometimes it comes out, whatever. I'm trying to get the message across too. So I got to balance like getting the message across with not tricking people. I don't want to trick anyone. I don't, even if it's for the better, the greater good. I want to trick them. And now they have PulseChain. I don't know. I never really bought into that. I'm like, I just think that, maybe you do it once or twice, but over time, people stop trusting your content. At least I do. I stop trusting content where I see I keep getting tricked over and over and over. So I try to keep the content clean for that. And I want people to, again, so I don't monetize, none of my words are tainted. Nobody's telling me what to say. I own everything I say, all that stuff. So anyway, that's why I'm very careful about even talking about a lot of the projects. It's not because I'm RHMaxy. It's literally not because of that. I'm an RHMaxy for his ideals, and his products are just a natural fit for those ideals. And of course, supporting him and what we're trying to do in the community and stuff as well. So, and of course, on the show, I've talked about a ton of different, today I've literally, went out of my way to talk about PHUX and otherwise too. So it's not that I don't appreciate and that I don't want to talk about other projects and stuff. It's just, I try my best to be careful where I want people to get the most value out of it. And I don't want to, I want it to, I'm not evergreen, but I want to be right a lot. I guess that's the thing too. I want to be right a lot about stuff. And I can't be right a lot if I just interview everyone and just promote everything and just, oh, everything's good. And if it's bad, then, oh, sorry. To me, yeah, that's just my brand. I want to be right a lot, so I'm more careful about the stuff. But I do appreciate the money coming into PulseChain. The builders, a lot of them, like I said, I'll probably never talk to or engage with, and a lot of them are, I'm sure, doing great work. So I hope I'm able to come across. May I come across the best. May I come across the best and the ones who are actually trying to do good work, and not the ones who are either scamming or are scams, but they don't know they're scams yet, that sort of thing. So yeah, there you go. You get to hear me talk about my content curation as well. Because this is what we're doing as content creators. I mean, essentially, you are curating the content. I learn about stuff. I know people, and then I choose how to present that or to not present it at all. So yeah, it's just depend on what your goals and values are for the platform you're on. But that's that's my take on it. Bright Light 57. What's the minimum amount of validators you would run? I don't think there is a minimum, honestly, because that question presupposes that it's only going to be profitable to run a certain amount, which further says that profit is static and it doesn't go up and down, which we know in crypto goes up and down. So would running one validator today be profitable? I don't think so. Would running 10 validators today being profitable? Probably not, depending on your setup and stuff. I don't know. And yeah, another factor, like, are you running a cloud? Are you running at home? Like, what are your monthly costs? All that stuff. But I believe over time, the price will go up. It might not, but I believe it will. So whatever I'm paying now, of course, I don't want to waste money. That's why I switched cloud providers. I went from AWS to DigitalOcean and basically got 50% off my hosting, although AWS is way overpriced for a validator. But yeah, DO is pretty much pretty fair. Lower hundreds of dollars, 300 or 400, something like that, a month compared to 700 or 800 or 600 or 700. I forget what it was. So I don't know what the minimum is. It depends on your goals. Like, do you care about ROI today, or are you investing in something that you think will go up in the future? I think that's the question to ask. We're going through that. So I've heard people, I think a long time ago, I saw, was it K4K talk about, I think I did some math on this too. Was it 7? Came up with like 7 validators. I think I came up from one of his posts, 7 to 10 would be like a sweet spot for probably profitable, depending on what your time horizon, a bunch of other factors. But some people, they think, won't run any less than 10, won't run any less than, won't even, do the setup or learn Linux or pay somebody to do it for them for less than, 10 or 50 or whatever it is. So it just depends on your setup. But for me, I don't really think of it as terms as minimum. If you told me like, hey, I want to, or again, I'll use myself as an example. If myself was like, hey, I'm going to be running one at home, running validator hardware at home, I'm just going to run one. I'm like, okay, well, over time, I think the price will go up. It should be fine. If running in the cloud, I probably run one just because ROI, it took a long time to get that back, and I'm going to be paying for it in the meantime. So yeah, I think it depends. More than one, I would say, yeah, for me, I would run more than one in the cloud, but I would be more open to running one with just a NUC or some piece of hardware sitting in the corner. But then that's the thing about, I did tweets and I did videos on like running in the cloud versus running at home. There's a different stuff you need to worry about. So Mindtech, is it possible to touch 1 cent per PLS in 2 years? Just tell me your prediction. Well, anything is possible. I don't get predictions though. So sorry, you're looking for predictions, not the channel or the person who gives predictions, because most of the time they're wrong. And I try not to give anyone hopium. I say, I try to give you the information, show you these things. I'll show you how many hundreds of millions of dollars are locked up in protocols and on the bridge and all these things. And then you decide for yourself whether what your targets are, what your time horizon is, and how much you think can go up. Plenty of channels that'll do that. Just not mine though. Appreciate the question though. All right, Life 57. I see a validator as a 10-year payoff. Anyway, I mean, I hope so. I hope so in 10 years. I hope so in 2 years. 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. If you got a long time horizon, validators are probably more suited for people. Yeah, that's a good way to phrase it. Validators are more suited with people with longer term time horizons, like that. I'm not, I personally think it would take less than 10 years. Not financial advice in any shape or way or form, but yeah, I think being a validator, getting over the learning curve, getting technology set up, making that commitment, locking it up. It's not just, you don't have to click a couple buttons to get unlocked too. Once you make your deposits, you got to go through the exit process and stuff too, which is not hard. It's just not clicking a couple buttons on a website type of thing. So there you go. Validators are for people with longer term time horizons. I like that. All right, everyone. That's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoyed the, let me post a link for a validator. Just anyone who's interested in becoming one. Unplug that. We talk about fast cars and fast women. That's not what I'm watching on PulseChain, sir. Not what I'm watching on PulseChain. However, go be a PulseChain validator at tinyurl.com/go validate. If you're interested in being a PulseChain validator, I have a landing page, I have a GitHub, I have scripts to do all the stuff for you. Go check it out if you want. tinyurl.com/go validate. We'll give you all the information you need. And I do AMAs from time to time. I did like almost 30 of them. So do AMAs from time to time as well. And helping decentralize the network, greatest thing on earth. PulseChain.com, Hex.com, PulseX.com. That's all I got. I don't know if I'll see you this weekend or not. If not, I will be back on Monday for open mic. And that should be a fun one. Open mic's always good. Community. It's basically like a Twitter space, but on YouTube. I dropped the StreamYard link in the chat. Click on it if you want to come on. All that fun stuff. And that'll be fun. Next week will be good. And then probably taking, let's see, after next week. Let's see. I think I'm taking some time off the next week after that. Yeah. So I won't be around as much. Still be around a little bit, but not as much. And the week after that, we have Founders Week, where I go through, interview a whole bunch of PulseChain founders, and then on Friday, demo day. So anyone's welcome to show up, do a demo of their PulseChain project. They got 15 minutes to do a demo on Friday, the 13th, Friday, October 13th. So save the date. There's a tweet as well. Put the tweet in the chat in case anyone's interested in that. Okay. The link is in the chat. Check that out, PulseChain founders as well. That's all I got for you today. Scivive and 5555. We are out.